Hi everyone, this is Ishinta here. Welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to do Merchant of Venice Act 1 Scene 2. We have already done Act 1 Scene 1 in the previous video. So let's get started. So let's begin with Act 1 Scene 2, which occurs in Belmont, a room in Portia's house. You might remember Portia being mentioned in Scene 1 by Bassanio. So enter Portia with her waiting woman Nerissa. Portia says, "By my troth, that means honestly, Nerissa, my little body is a weary of this great world, that I am tired of such a big world." Nerissa says, "You would be sweet, madam, if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortunes are." She says, "Of course you would be tired, because you have as many miseries as you have the good fortunes. And yet, for aught I see, they are as sick that surfeit with too much, as they have starved with nothing." So surfeit means overfed. So she says that, "Madam, I know these people, those who have a lot, they are almost equal to those who have nothing and who almost starve." So she says, "It is no mean happiness, therefore, to be seated in the mean." So she says that it is better that you seat between the two extremes. That means you are neither starving nor you have royal wealth. So she says that we should stay in middle. Superfluity comes sooner by white hairs, but competency lives longer. So she says that those who are very rich and who have a lot of money, their hair gets white sooner. So that means they get old. By old hair means they get tired of the world much sooner. But the competency lives longer. By competency means that who enjoy their wealth, who enjoy what they have. They do not want more and more money. So they live longer and they take full enjoy of life. So Portia says, "Good sentence and well pronounced." So here Portia, she is uh, praising Nerissa that you have said a very good thing. Nerissa says, "They would be better if well followed." So here Nerissa says, as Portia says that what she has said is very good, Nerissa says that it would be better if it is followed also in this world. So Portia says that if to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, that if you know that something is good, it is not easy to follow it. Chapels would have been churches. So what is chapel? They are like small churches which is not royal or which does not have a good wealth. Had been churches, and poor men's cottages, princes' palaces. So he says that if it would have been possible, then poor men's cottages, their small homes, would have been royal palaces. It is a good divine that follows his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done than be one of the 20 to follow my own teachings. So she says that it is easier to teach 20 other people that what is good and what is wrong, but it is difficult to follow those good things on your own, that being one of those 20 people. The brain may desire laws for the blood. So she says that our brain makes the laws for our body. It tells it what to do. But a hot temper leaps over a cold desire. So she says that even though the mind, your brain, it frames the laws for your body, but still a very deep desire can overpower such laws. That if you have a very deep desire to do something, it can overpower your mind also. Such a here is madness the youth to skip over the marshes of good counsel the cripple. So she gives the example that similarly, for example, the youth, they are very impulsive, they make their decision very quickly before giving them much deeper thought as the elders do. So she says the impulse of youth will make one, that youth are so impulsive that they leave the good advice and they go over different things. They do not think that what is good for them. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. Oh me, the word choose. So she says, but this kind of logic cannot work when you have to choose a husband. Then she says, oh my god, did I say the word choose? I may neither choose whom I would, nor refuse whom I dislike. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. So she says, did I say the word choose? Well, it was very wrong because I can neither choose nor refuse. Neither I can choose a person I want to be with, nor I can refuse a person I do not want to be with. So she says that I don't like that I do not have a choice of my own and I have to go through the desire of my father. Is it not hard, Nerissa, that I cannot choose one nor refuse one? So now she asks Nerissa's point of view that what she thinks. That isn't it hard that you can neither choose nor refuse? It's all on fate. You never know what will happen. So this is what she says. So now Nerissa she praises Portia's father and says your father was ever virtuous and holy men at their death have good inspirations. So she says that your father was very virtuous, he was a very good man, and she says that such good men, even after their death, they have very good inspirations. Therefore, the lottery that he hath devised in these three chests of gold, silver, and lead will no doubt never be chosen by any rightly, but one who you shall rightly love. So, the thing is that before Portia's father died, he portrayed a lottery. It was basically a kind of competition among suitors that who will woo Portia. So it was like there are three chests, one of gold, silver, and lead. So the one of these three chests contains the portrait of Portia. The one who chooses the right casket with the portrait of Portia will win her and will have her hand. While there were some conditions which we will talk about later. So she says that the lottery which your father devised was very good. He has chosen rightly for you, and she knows that the one who will choose the right casket, Portia will surely love him. But what warmth is there in your affection towards any of these princely suitors that are already come? So there are a few suitors who had already come to take part in this lottery of casket chest we say casket also. Okay, so in this lottery of casket there are few suitors who had already come. So she asked that tell me what kind of experience or affection you share with each of the suitors. So Portia says, I pray thee, overname them, and as thou names them, I will describe them, and according to my description, level at my affection. So Portia says that fine, you name each of the suitor, and I will explain my thinking with them, and there you can level them up that what I think of them, what affection I have. I will describe each of them in my own words, what I think of them. So first person Nerissa says is the Napoleon Prince, to which Portia says, Aye, that's a colt. Indeed, for he doth nothing but talk of his horse, and he makes it a great appropriation to his own good parts, that he can show him himself. So who is a colt? Colt we use for a young small horse. So she says that uh, so Portia says that the Napoleon Prince he does nothing but he just talks about his own horse and he takes all the credit that he can shoe his horse himself. So what do you mean by shoe the horse himself? That they use a small metal piece to cover the softer part of hoof of the horse. What is hoof? Claw, पंजे को कहते हैं. So to shoe him himself. Nerissa. Then is there the County Palatine? So the next person she says is the Count Palatine, to which Portia says. So Portia says that he doth nothing but frown, as who should say, and you will not have me choose. He hears merry tales and smiles not. So Portia says that he does nothing but frown. He is such a gloomy man. She says that he can even end up saying that if you don't want me, then you can choose someone else. She says that he listens good stories without any smile. I hear he will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old. So she explains her point more by saying that when he will grow old, he will be a sad philosopher. Like old people, they kind of act like philosophers. So, being so full of unmannerly sadness in his youth, I had rather be married to a death's head with a bone in his mouth than to either of these. God defend me from these two. So she says that instead of marrying him, he is such a gloomy man, he never smiles. I had rather marry a grinning skull. That means she had rather marry a person who keeps on laughing and has a white smile over his face. So the next person Nerissa tells is the French Lord Monsante. So about him, the Portia says in the next that God made him and therefore let him pass for a man. She says that since God made him, I will let him pass for a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker, but why he hath a horse better than the Napoleons. She says, in truth, I know it is very bad to speak against a person behind his back. So she says, but still, he is much more diverted towards his horse than the Napoleon prince. She says that he is much more attached to the horse, a better bad habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. He is much more gloomy than the Count Palatine. He is every man is no man. She says that he has characteristics of every single man, but he does not have a personality of his own. If a throstle sing, he falls straight a capering. Throstle is an native English word, and capering means jump. That whenever a throstle will sing, he will jump and he will attack his own shadow with the sword. If I should marry him, I should marry 20 husbands. If he would despise me, I would forgive him. For if he loves me to madness, I shall never requite him. So she says that marrying him would be like marrying 20 husbands, because the same thing, he has personality of all other men but no personality of his own. She says that if he speaks ill of me, if he speaks bad of me, I would surely forgive him. But if he likes me, then I will never return his love. Now, the next suitor Nerissa says is the Falconbridge, the young Baron of England. So, for Falconbridge, Portia says that I say nothing to him, for he understands not me, nor I him. He hath neither Latin, French, nor Italian, and you will come into the court and swear that I have a poor pennyworth in English. So, Portia says that Nerissa, you know that I do not talk to him because neither he nor I, we both don't understand each other. He cannot speak Latin, French, or Italian, and I assure you that I am very bad and poor at English. He is a proper man's picture, but alas, who can converse with a dumb show? She says that he is a very good man, he has a very good character, and he is handsome also. But I cannot choose him because how can you live with a person with whom you cannot converse? How oddly he is suited. So she says that he has dressed himself very oddly. I think he bought his doublet in Italy. I think he bought his doublet in Italy, his round hose in France, and his bonnet in Germany, and his behavior everywhere. So she says, so she now comments on his dressing style that it is very odd because it seems as if his jacket, okay, so doublet is jacket, is from Italy, and his round hose is trousers. His jacket is from Italy, his trousers is from France, and his cap is from Germany. So, jacket from Italy, trousers from France, and his cap from Germany. And he has got his manners and behaviors from everywhere. So this way Portia describes the suitor. There are still a few left which I will cover in the next video. Since the last video it was way too long, so I decided to cut this scene 2 into two parts. So this is the first part. Okay, so thank you for listening till the end and please subscribe, like and comment. Thank you.